This week's topic will establish a foundation in understanding the importance of management information systems within a modern organization. You will explore information systems and information technology. Also, the role of information security in an organization will be examined. Now, you will see a short video to learn more about management of information systems professionals.
If your computer system seems like a giant puzzle, this person can fit the pieces together. Today, we meet the information systems professional. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Viviana.
Hi, Viviana. I'm Walter Anderson. Welcome
Nice
to
to
ITC
meet you.
Computers. An information systems professional is somebody who works with software and hardware and wiring and infrastructure, does consulting, will make recommendations to decision makers about what it is that they need to change to improve their network infrastructure. It could be computers, performance, or it could be the latest technologies. Put that all together, make it easy for anybody to use, make it safe and secure, and protect the information from any risks. Many of the projects we do for businesses are required that we come in 9 to 5. That's where most of the productivity happens in the day. However, you have to be prepared to work long hours, evenings and weekends sometimes. Most of our work today, almost 90% of it, it can be done remotely. What that means is we can manage your information technology and your computer systems from anywhere, from our network operations center or in our office. I connect to about 1,000 systems. We can manage the firewalls, we can manage your screen. So if you're on your computer and there's an error or a printing problem, for example, you call us in within seconds, we're sharing your screen, fixing your problem, and you're back to work again in no time at all. Here, for example, we're monitoring 782 computers.
Wow.
I just received a text message on my phone that we've got an email problem. So over here, I've got their mail flow showing here. I'm going to just pause their email. This is going to allow us to quickly then jump into their mail server. Sometimes it's spam related. It could be internet service provider.
So you really have to think on the fly and solve problems quickly and creatively.
Absolutely. Today, networks, or an address of networks, are built on what we call IP addresses. Being able to calculate quickly the network addresses, knowing how the addressing works is important so that every computer that you work and touch on is able to communicate with the rest of the world. A lot of the work that we do happens in small, contained closets and spaces. This is where the sort of the heart of the network infrastructure is, where all of the internet and firewalls and switches and cables come in place. And today we're going to replace a switch and a security appliance which is going to improve the performance of the network. In order to communicate effectively in this industry, you need to speak to people who may not have that level of technical knowledge so that you can explain to them in relatively simple and easy to understand terms what needs to be done.
So this looks pretty organized to me.
It is, but it can be far better. And that's one of the services that we offer, which is going to allow us to label things, maybe tighten up the wiring, clean things up a little bit, remove some old equipment, add the new stuff. Overall, it'll look more professional and we'll get better results when it comes to troubleshooting problems. The education that you need is definitely a Bachelor of Science degree in computer science or some professional diploma or certificate. Well, that 2-year diploma is going to get you out in the field quicker than a 4-year Bachelor of Science degree. The 4-year Bachelor of Science is a good foundation to have if you're going for the information systems analyst, the manager of information systems position. You want to work in a big corporate environment or work for the government. They're looking for somebody who has a university degree. It takes a lot of experience to get there, a lot of time and effort and education, but if you're willing to put the time in, you're going to be able to achieve those goals. Get to work with all the latest technology and all the cool gadgets, and you get to be the first one to do all this stuff. But some of the most rewarding and gratifying parts of this job is the look on the customer's face when you've solved their problem and they say, thank you very much for fixing our problems, and they're really grateful. And that's the satisfaction you get from doing a good job. But all the cool gadgets are really cool too, and we like those.
To summarize, some of the skills you'll need include finger dexterity, manual dexterity, motor coordination, numerical ability, verbal and written comprehension. You'll also need to be detail-oriented. You'll usually require 3 to 4 years of post-secondary education. The average salary can range from $53,000 to $66,000 per year. The future outlook for this job is promising as employment is increasing in the coming years and the unemployment rate is expected to decrease. Walter, thank you so much for teaching me about computer solutions.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for coming by, and I hope you learned a lot.
I did. Once again, this is Career Check, and I'm Viviana reminding you that this career could be yours. See you next time.
Management information systems is important because it provides critical skills needed to be successful in business. Future business professionals need to be able to assess, evaluate, and apply emerging information technology to business. Knowledge learned in this course can help you to attain skills which can lead you to job security. Ultimately, the skills learned in management information systems can lead to future employment. An information system is a group of components that interact to produce information. Information systems is comprised of 5 component frameworks, which include hardware, software, data, procedures, and people. These 5 components were all represented in the video you just watched. Management information systems is the management and use of information systems that help business achieve their strategies. This includes developing, maintaining, and adapting information systems. Job security exists when an employee possesses a marketable skill and understands how to use this skill to benefit the company they work for. So what is a marketable skill? It used to be that one could name a particular skill such as a computer programmer, a tax accountant, or marketing. But today, because of Moore's Law, this may no longer be true. Moore's Law states that the cost of data storage and data communication is essentially zero, so any routine skill can and will be outsourced to the lowest bidder. So the question is, what skills will be marketable during your career? Rapid technological change and increased international competition place a spotlight on skills and preparations of the workforce, particularly the ability to adapt changing technology and shifting demand. Shifts in the nature of organizations favor strong, non-routine cognitive skills. Whether you're majoring in accounting or marketing, or finance, or information systems, you need to develop strong, non-routine cognitive skills. So in essence, marketable skills include abstract reasoning, systems thinking, collaboration, and the ability to experiment. But before we move on with information systems, let's take a look at information technology, and then look at the difference between information technology and information systems. As you just saw in the video that you just watched, information technology refers to products, methods, inventions, and standards used to produce information. It pertains to hardware, software, and data components. Information technology drives the development of new information systems. Information technology is tangible in nature, meaning it's more concrete and easier to define. Information systems, on the other hand, is more intangible. It is a system or a collaborative network, if you will, of information technology components. Although information systems cannot be purchased, it creates value when dealing with a network of information technology. It does this by providing a way to more efficiently control or manage the information that is being created. So now that we determined that information systems create value, we also have to realize that they also create risk. In some cases, information systems can experience security breaches. Data such as personal identification information can be stored within an information system, making people susceptible to identity theft. That's why having a security system in place is so important. If the users of the systems do not take security seriously, if they do not follow security procedures, then the hardware, software, and data components of the security system are a wasted expense. One way to deter security breaches is to create a strong password. A strong password has one of the following characteristics. It has 10 or more characters. It does not contain your username, real name, or company name. It does not contain a complete dictionary word in any language. It's different from previous passwords used, and it contains upper and lower case letters, numbers, and special characters. One problem with strong passwords is that they can often be hard to remember. You should never write down a password on a piece of paper and keep it at your workstation. Never ask others for their password, and never give your password to someone else. And I would add that a strong password is changed regularly to avoid being compromised. Even if members of a group have the ability to access the collaborative information system, this does not necessarily mean they have a need to know all of the information that is contained there. Passwords may limit access to people within the information system when it's necessary to safeguard a portion of the data involved. The key characteristics of collaboration includes iteration, feedback, accomplishing tasks within the time and budget allotted, promoting team growth, and increasing team satisfaction. Collaboration is the activity of two or more people working together to achieve a common goal, result, or work product. This differs from cooperation, which is when a group of people are working together, all doing essentially the same type of work, to accomplish a task. Effective collaboration requires providing and receiving critical feedback. Students often collaborate when completing a group project. Using feedback and iteration, one person will produce something, say, the draft of a document, and a second person will review that draft and provide critical feedback, and then merge their independent work for grading by the professor. Such a process will enable the project to be completed more quickly, with less work by any single individual, but it will not be better than the result obtained if the students had worked alone. Online courses often require a collaborative project in which teams are formed to complete a group assignment. When students work collaboratively, they set forth an initial idea or work product, provide feedback to one another on those ideas or products, and then revise in accordance with feedback. Such a process can produce a result far superior than that produced by any student working alone. A group in which everyone is too polite to say anything critical cannot collaborate. Members must be willing to speak out when they do not agree. This does not mean one must be disagreeable or belligerent. Collaboration often takes negotiation, but these negotiations often strengthens the end results. Collaborative efforts must avoid using groupthink. Groupthink is when everyone agrees with what is being discussed without any opposing viewpoints. During collaboration, team members learn from each other, and it would be difficult to learn if no one is willing to express different or even unpopular ideas. But how do you judge whether collaboration is successful? Hackman defines the three primary criteria for judging team success as successful outcome, growth in team capability, and meaningful and satisfying experience. For business professionals, teams need to accomplish their goals, whether that is making a decision, solving a problem, or managing a project. Some may argue that accomplishing the goal in time and under budget are important criterion as well. Improving the team's effectiveness is a very important criteria of collaboration. Even teams with much experience can become more effective as well. Teams also get better as individuals improve at their tasks. Each of us is a sum of our own individual experiences. Sharing these experiences with others among the team also strengthens the team as a whole. Team members also provide perspectives that other team members need. We learn through sharing our own individual perspectives. As such, team members also teach task skills and give knowledge to one another. As I stated in my introduction, I too can learn from each of you through sharing our perspective and unique experiences throughout this course. The final criteria is that team members have a meaningful and satisfying experience. Let's face it, business professionals usually want their work to hold some meaning. Otherwise, workers would most likely be dissatisfied and feel as if there is no sense to the job they're doing. The nature of team goals is a major factor in making work meaningful. Furthermore, if an individual's work is not only perceived as important, but the person doing that work is also given credit for it, then the experience will be perceived as meaningful. So recognition for work well done is vitally important for a meaningful work experience. Another aspect of team satisfaction is camaraderie. Business professionals, just like students, are energized when they have the feeling that they are part of a group, each person doing his or her job and combining efforts to achieve something worthwhile that is better than anyone could have done alone. Collaborative teams accomplish 4 primary purposes. These are becoming informed, making decisions, solving problems, and managing projects. Informing is the first and most fundamental collaboration purpose. 2 individuals can receive the same data, but construct different interpretations. One reason for this is that each person will understand the information based on their own past experiences. As you would expect, team members need to be able to share data and to communicate with one another to share interpretations. The goal of informing is to ensure, as much as possible, that team members are conceiving or understanding information the same way. This is why sharing past individual experiences with the group also assists in improving the group to perform more efficiently. By sharing experiences, a group is able to understand and interpret information in the same way throughout the group members. One of the team's first tasks is to ensure that everyone understands the goal of the collaborative effort, and further, understands what constitutes an operational expense. Not every decision requires collaboration. Simple or structured decision-making processes often do not require collaboration at all. In fact, involving collaboration in routine, structured decisions is expensive, wasteful, and frustrating. Do we have to have a meeting about everything? It's a very common complaint heard in the workplaces when collaboration is unnecessary. However, feedback and iteration are crucial to unstructured decisions. In these cases, members bring different ideas and perspectives about what is to be decided, how the decision will be reached, what criteria are important, and how decision alternatives score against those criteria. The group may make tentative conclusions or discuss potential outcomes of those conclusions, and members will often revise their positions. These decisions lead to problem solving within the group. Problem solving is the third primary reason for collaborating. A problem is a perceived difference between what is and what ought to be. Because it's a perception, different people can have different problem definitions. Therefore, the first and arguably the most important task for a problem-solving collaborative group is defining the problem. As stated as part of the informing purpose, the group needs to first ensure that the team members understand this goal and have a common definition of what an operational expense is. The final purpose of collaboration is project management. Projects are formed to create or produce something. Project management consists of 4 phases, which include the starting phase, the planning phase, the doing or action phase, and the finalizing phase. Figure 3 shows project management with 4 phases, the major tasks of each, and the kinds of data that collaborative teams need to share. Each phase of project management has tasks which may not include everyone within the group to perform. However, members of the group may provide critical feedback throughout that process. This feedback helps to improve the data being created by the group. Collaboration involves 2 types of data, which are project data and project metadata. Just like information systems, collaboration systems have 5 components. These are hardware, software, data, procedures, and people. Collaboration involves 2 types of data, as I stated earlier, these being project data and project metadata. Project data is data that is part of the collaboration's work product. For example, for a team that is designing a new product, design documents are an example of project data. A document that describes a recommended solution is project data for a problem-solving project. But project metadata is data that is used to manage the project. Schedules, tasks, budgets, and other managerial data are examples of project metadata. Both types of data are subject to iteration and feedback. Collaboration information systems procedures specify standards, policies, and techniques for conducting the team's work. The final component of collaboration systems is people. We discussed the importance of the ability to give and receive critical feedback. In addition, team members know how and when to use collaborative applications. Finally, maintaining security of the types of data stored within a system is vitally important. Even metadata can provide information which can be used to determine information which may be sensitive in nature. The most important thing is that any data stored within a collaborative system must be secured so that people who do not have a need to know do not gain access. This concludes the lesson for week 1. A copy of the slides, along with the notes in the notes pages, are also in your theoretical Dropbox. As I stated earlier, please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. I look forward to working with each of you over the next several weeks. Have a great week.